My name is Catherine. You can call me Ms. Myers. Um, this is what we worked on in the last video. So if you're interested in knowing these measurements and what they are, please watch part 1. So I'm going to start a new layer. You can pull your picture up on your phone, print out the picture, and tape it to like whatever board you're working on. Open your, so if you're in Photoshop, you can open it and then have it as another tab and then pull the tab over. So like you can literally like pull, well, you can't even see it. I can pull my tab and it will show up in a different window next to the drawing board I'm currently using. Okay, so the brush I'm using, or you can just do this, put it on your board and open another picture on it and then have a separate layer, which I have over here. And I'm not naming my layers, but if you want to stay organized, you definitely can. So I have my background, which is just a solid white and locked, and then I have layer 1, which is my picture, and layer 2 is the one that I'm going to be drawing on. This is my brush. Is this Kyle Ultimate Inking Thick and Thin, and then I have Shape Dynamics on it, which is the pin pressure and the pin tilt. So that is literally it. This is a standard Photoshop brush. I have a bunch of brushes, a lot of brushes. We can go into brushes another day, but just pick one. And then if you're using your tablet, I always have all 3 of these clicked and opacity at 100%, right? So that way, whenever I'm using my my brush, I can change the pressure, how big the brush is, whatever I need, right? So it's like regular drawing. Let's scoot this down, possibly scoot me out of the way some. Okay, that should be fine. So, you put your pencil in front of your face. You're using this as measurement, okay? So you're gonna hold it out in front of your face, eye level, right? I'm gonna look at my character, and I'm gonna use one eye, right? And I'm gonna be like, okay, so this right here, see my mouse, see my cursor? This line is what I'm looking at when I use this. I'm like, okay, it's this, right? It's like this slanted, okay? And I'm gonna keep my hand in that same position and go over to where I'm drawing, right? Scoot me out of the way. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over to my board and be like, okay, like I said, it's then slanted. So I'm gonna go over to my drawing board and I'm gonna use this as my measurement for how slanted that line is. So, and then you can check after you put it on your paper. Does that slant match the slant that I just made? And then you can do that quite literally all the way around her head. Turn your pencil this way for this side right here. See? And here's the top of her head. It goes this way. Right? And it doesn't have to be perfect. Here's a straight line. Here's a straight line. Here's a straight line. Right? Here's a little straight line. Straight line. And just do your entire picture with straight lines. So just go over all of the edges. Straight lines. And then you can clean it up. You can leave it messy like this. I forgot my little ear. I'm going to go ahead and leave an artist in the description here who works off straight lines like this. And you can see that he leaves. Let me go ahead and move out of the way. See what I did there? Looks a little funny, but it gives you a starting point. Right? So I want you to do this. Practice this. That's your homework. Practice this. And if you would like to send me these practices for my, like, show me your reference. You can even do this to your reference if you want, like I did, to show me that your lines. Make a picture like this, save it as a medium quality JPEG, less than like 1 MB, so it will send compressed, right? Send it to me through my email. I'll leave my email down below as well. You can check out the artist I'm leaving who does a lot of line sketches. I think he's on Instagram. Maybe I'll leave his Instagram down there below for you so you can go to his videos and see how he works in literal lines like this. So you can see that there is an artist out there that works this way, quite literally, and does all of his work like this. And in the art community, they do like to see your lines. They like to see your sketchy lines if you're just doing a line drawing, right? If you're doing like a finished piece of art, typically we don't use, I mean, like, unless you want it to be impressionistic and you want to see the brush strokes, a lot of that's art history. You can learn a lot of that and see what the art community does like to see and what we do value. So don't worry about being sketchy. Don't worry about being a perfectionist. Just practice, 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 and learn. And then eventually you can develop your own style and the way that you like to do things. One of my biggest struggles when I was an artist, when I was a student like you are, my biggest struggle was it wasn't perfect. And it wasn't the way that I wanted. And it wasn't the way that I work. So it was hard to get over that like hump to learn that I did need to learn how it's done traditionally. Learn the basics before I can develop my own style, before I can do things the way that I want to do them. The only way you're going to get better is if you practice and you learn basics, learn art history, immerse yourself in art, get books, watch videos, listen to podcasts, right? And every artist is a continuing to learn artist. None of us have settled. And if you settled, you're stopping yourself from learning more, from becoming better, right? So try to draw this far, and then if you want to go further, right, you can watch my next video. We'll go further in depth of how to create her face from here. But I would stop and practice this part of the journey first. Get like a couple reference pictures and practice just the lines on the outside of like people's faces. You can even do an entire figure this way, right? But I wouldn't go that far. I would learn gesture first, and then we can build the shape from there. Gesture drawing and then build the shape. So we're just learning faces now, and then we'll get into gesture. But this key, I'm telling you, this is a key part to your learning. Learning how to pay attention to the way lines are, the negative space, like building an entire picture with lines, not using circular shapes, just lines. Okay? Like I said, send me your stuff. I'd love to see it. Send me this part of your drawing process. My email is down below. Check out that artist as well before you go on to the next part. All right? Thank you. See you in the next video.